Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome if you're new. This is just going to be a quick collective reading for those guided here. If you'd like to receive a message, just go ahead and tap that like button. Everybody take a deep breath. Starting with the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. Overall energy today for the collective. All right. Got the otter and the beaver both out here. Both of them are hard workers, but the otter reminds us to play, to be playful in work. The bee's also a hard worker. So definitely an emphasis on career or work here. The dragonfly is a master of light, also the master of illusion. It's interesting, it kind of looks like a little rabbit there in the white. The rabbit would symbolize fears. So, are you operating in your work or career or finances from a place of light or from a place of fear? Is there, we've got the fire ant on the bottom, is there some kind of pent-up aggression or anger or rage that's preventing you from working with others in a likable way, in a professional way? Let's get some tarot out here and see if we can go a little deeper. I'm gonna go with the Gilded Tarot. Tell me about this otter. For the collective. Thank you. Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, something around work, career, finances. Let's see. We've got the Two of Cups out here. So around relationships at work is what this feels like. How are your relationships and career? We got the King of Swords out here. Tell me about this dragonfly. The Hermit. Yeah, it's like life is what you make it type shit, right? And if you go into work in a happy state, your energy is going to affect others. And this goes both ways. Others' energy also can have an effect on you if you allow it to, which sometimes it can be challenging not to allow other people's negative energy to affect you. However, it can be done. It takes practice. It takes a lot of balance in your own energies, in your own mind. I like to put up a shield around me because I actually do have some of this going on in my workplace where there's a couple who are really negative, and I just try to remember like they must be going through a pretty difficult time. Now you could be on either side of this. Either, you know, you are the one that is needing to put up a shield, or you could be on the other side of this where you're going into work and, you know, you're just full of anger and rage and like, I hate this place sucks, yada, yada, yada. Having empathy for others, compassion for others is going to be very helpful for you. Trying to understand where others are at. Tell me about this beaver. I feel like for the most part, those that are watching this are in the first situation where, kind of similar to mine, where, you know, you might have others around you that, you know, might have some of this anger or aggression, or there might be conflict, and you might be trying to figure out like how to balance some of this. This is interesting. This is coming up because I wasn't really thinking about this at all, but this must be a very collective energy for this to be coming up. Tell me about this beaver. Page of Wands. Five of Swords. So there's an energy here of possible new direction of creative force. Page of Wands is a new beginning. It's someone that's young, or a beginning stage of creation with the fire energy. The Five of Swords is someone who's damaged, who does some damage. But we remember now it's because they too are damaged, right? Hurt people hurt people. It seems like, and I want to emphasize, seems like they might be only out for themselves. They don't really care like who they hurt, who's in their wake of their path. Tell me about this bee. Seven of Pentacles. So there's options here. Which path are you going to choose to take in this situation? Let's get some advice. We could go deeper on the options, but I think you probably have a good... Should we go deeper on the options? So one option is to be empathetic, compassionate, understanding. Another option would be to be bossy, to be boss-like, to rise above. Yeah, to move forward, not worry about it, try to put it in the back of your mind, not allow it to affect your energy. Another energy or option here is to try to reason with them, try to be friends with them. Perhaps by in relating in a like a childlike way, in an innocent way. But it keeps coming back to this empathy, this compassion card, right? And staying balanced in your feminine and masculine with the King and Queen of Cups here. The King and Queen are both very compassionate, emotional energies. Notice we got Saturn in the background here. We do have Saturn in Virgo, which the sun's also in Virgo right now as I'm recording this. Saturn is retrograde. I did do a video on this, which speaks about like boundaries. So that may be something to consider as well. We got the Chariot, but this is about moving forward in a balanced way. Be careful not to allow others to really affect you in a negative way, all right? Because you have to understand, and if you have empathy for others, you understand that this person or people, whatever, probably have a lot going on in their own home life, or they have their own conflicts internally that they have going on. And you don't want to take that on, right? I'm hearing mind your business. Just go about your own work. You can choose to be at peace. You can choose not to allow other people's energies affect you in a negative way. All right, that is the truth. That's how you stay balanced. You stay in your own power, in your own sovereignty, and stay empathetic and understanding of where the other or others may be. Let's get some angel cards to wrap this up. Thank you guys, by the way, for liking and sharing and commenting, subscribing. There's the collective. Come on, Crystal, go on. You always gotta mess with me when I'm doing my readings. Alright, let's see. We've got have courage to ask for and accept help. Asking for help is a sign of strength. Oh my gosh, this cat. As is accepting it as it is offered to you. Very often when you ask God for help, prayers are answered through other people. Be sure to accept this assistance as well as to give it to others as guided. So perhaps you have some kind words or some way that you could actually help this individual gently, because I feel like this situation definitely needs a gentle approach, and maybe I'm hearing like a roundabout way. We've got take a divinely guided chance. All positive change and successful ventures involve a degree of risk, and you are ready to follow your divine guidance to new territories. As you leave behind that which is comfortable and familiar but no longer appropriate for you, you make room for new and more meaningful opportunities. So some of you guys may be feeling guided to actually change directions. If this workspace environment is really affecting you emotionally, then you do need to consider your best options. But also just make sure that you are going within and looking at any of those triggers that may come up and why they might be affecting you in such a way. Because usually, at least in my experience, when we bump into triggers or people who really bother us in some way, it's because there's something to be bothered. It's because there's something internally that needs to be or can be investigated. And it's interesting, you'll find that when you can identify that trigger and release it, heal that aspect, then the conflict will fall away. You'll find that that person might either also heal, or they might end up like leaving the workplace, or I mean, there's so many different options of what could happen, but usually when we come across someone that triggers us, it's an opportunity for us to heal something within. Okay, so you could run, you could go to a different place, but is that conflict going to continue to arise in a different shape and form? If it's something that the universe wants you to sort out within, then probably. Okay, so your best bet would probably be just to go within and to identify the source of that trigger. And if you need assistance in doing so, feel free to reach out to someone who might have that knowledge or might be able to have the resources that can help you. Right? Last but not least, we have everything you need is supplied by the infinite source of God, and your faith opens the doorway to receive. In God, there is no lack or limitation. Rather, there is an abundance, plenty of abundance for all to share. On the bottom, we've got Sugarlight. Own your divine power. Replace codependent people-pleasing with assertiveness and empowerment. Love it. Thank you guys again for liking and sharing and commenting, subscribing. Love you guys. Till next time, take good care.